Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Big Blue Avenue. I'm your host, Tom Scavetta. I'll be joined alongside my co-host, Sam Cardona Norberg, very, very shortly. She's just helping out her new sister-in-law move some stuff around in the house. So holiday season, you could see the corner of my screen. The Christmas tree was put up today. Very, very excited. Unfortunately, for those Giants fans watching, we might have a blue Christmas this season. Thankfully, we don't play on Christmas again. So, format of the show tonight, we're going to talk briefly about last week and talk about where the team is headed. We're going to talk about some quarterback prospects playing in the college football playoff. We'll also talk about the OnlyFans Model news, as well as the plain banner that was flown over MetLife prior to Sunday's game. Friendly neighborhood reminder, if you're new to the channel or if you're tuning in and you're interested in checking us out a little more, you can subscribe to us on all of our social media platforms, Instagram, YouTube, and Big Blue Avenue. We appreciate all of your support. And folks, remember to leave a like button. It helps with the algorithm, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. We really, really do appreciate it. So, Giants lose their 8th straight game after starting the season 2-3. Not ideal. They're now 2-11 on the season, a 14-11 gut-wrenching loss to the New Orleans Saints. The potential game-tying 35-yard field goal attempt by Graham Gano was blocked. But the main key here on Sunday, it was two things, folks: injuries and penalties. Both really, really hurt the Giants. The Giants overall were penalized 12 times for 112 yards. Trey Hawkins, who had the Giants' first pick since week 1 when Darius Muasau got it, he is now on season-ending IR. So definitely very, very concerning for the Giants heading into the final couple games of the season. And it sucks to lose linemen too. Jon Runyan and John Michael Schmitz were both lost in this game. Heading into week 14, Runyan, Schmitz, and Van Roten all played every snap together in the entirety of the 2024 season. And yeah, it really, really sucks. So bringing up my co-host now, Sam. Sam, welcome to the party, or should I say therapy session, weekly therapy session.
What's going on? What did I miss?
Just talking about losing our 8th straight and the injuries on Sunday. I know I didn't watch. I don't know if you did.
I watched the bits that were on Red Zone. I could not sit down and watch that whole game just straight. So I watched bits and pieces of it. But yeah, it was quite the game, to be honest. They really tried to run down the field at the end of that game to try and, rally the troops a bit. But I was like, please don't. Just... You're fine. Just chill out. And then Drew Lock's in a walking boot. So perfect.
Back to Tommy DeVito.
Back to Tommy DeVito.
But one thing I wanted to point out was the offensive line, the continuity. Schmitz and Runyan, who both played every snap of the season before last week, both left with injuries. Runyan is an injured reserve candidate, but he has not been declared out for this week yet. John Michael Schmitz is expected to play. I think at some point in his career, he's going to have to wear a neck brace, which I don't necessarily love for him. But I believe the last Giant to do it was Chase Blackburn and possibly Matthias Kiwanuka. So I think those two guys. Oh, Ty Summers currently wears one. So, but yeah, Sam, Drew Lock was bad. He had 28 incompletions, and it was awful. Like,
that is so bad. How many times did he throw the ball?
49 times.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Well, when I was sitting there and I heard they pulled up Red Zone at some point, and I heard it was like Drew Lock throwing a pass and it just not completing, and they went, all right, well, Drew Lock is 0 for 8. And I was like, no way. Has he already thrown 8 passes and not a single one of them has been caught? It's like atrocious, honestly. It's not good.
The broadcasters were saying they spoke to Drew Lock earlier in the week, and he seemed pretty confident. going out there, and they were impressed by his confidence and his ability to perform well in practice, but it didn't translate to the game. And you could tell Daryl Johnston, Moose, very disappointed in Drew Lock's performance. Yeah, it was just a masterclass of dog shit.
But I will say, though, that the defense did their job to hold the Saints to 14 points. Not too shabby, I will say.
So let me ask you this. Our boy Micah McFadden has really stepped up in the absence of Bobby Okereke. I'm ignoring the 11 tackles. I'm looking at the fact that he had 5 tackles for loss against the Saints offense that features Alvin Kamara. And if there is one bright spot from this game, the Giants, who have been atrocious on run defense all season, held the Saints to a grand whopping total of 2.8 yards per carry. Alvin Kamara only had 44 rushing yards on 17 carries. This was done without Dexter Lawrence and Bobby Okereke.
I am very impressed with that, and I'm trying to look up like Alvin Kamara's like stats throughout. I mean, that is in the last 6 or so weeks, that's the least amount of yards he's had. So pretty impressive, the fact that we were able to slow him down, because he's kind of been on the ups this year a bit. Has been kind of popping off in games and scoring touchdowns and things like that. So, yeah, I mean, Micah is somebody, obviously was a bit of a fall guy for the last few weeks too, for the team in general. They're throwing him out in front of the media and having him try and de-escalate some comments and whatnot. But yeah, it's especially losing specifically Dexter Lawrence. I mean, like, he is the defense. So to not have him on and to have someone like Micah McFadden, who obviously, if you're not a Giants fan, there's more likely than not that you don't really know who Micah McFadden is, to be showing up and doing what he needs to do, not caring, you know, what it means for him as opposed to what it means for the team to keep that morale up. You know, I appreciate that. And it's a tough time right now to be not only a Giants fan, but a Giants player, a Giants staff member. So to have someone like Micah McFadden on the field, you know, at least showing some sort of glimmer of hope in one way, I appreciate that. And I think he's doing a great job.
The press has spoken to him every week since they benched Daniel Jones.
It's insane.
Yeah.
To talk about Micah McFadden. Like, how many people are talking about Micah McFadden right now?
No, not many people. But I will say this. He was the best value pick of the 2022 draft class. 3 years in, better than Dane Belton, better than Daniel Bellinger, better than Flott. Of course, he's better than Azudu and Neal. And then Kayvon Thibodeau's been banged up. I mean, he's been the best pick of that class. But after him, to be honest with you, Sam, it's been Micah McFadden. That's the reality.
Absolutely, I agree.
And I look forward to him being on this team, hopefully for a very, very long time. Tracy did his thing, scored another touchdown. Malik had his 5 catches for 79 yards. Your boy, Daniel Bellinger, had 5 catches for 45 yards. Where's that?
Wow. Way to throw him into the mix here for the first time in God knows how long.
And then welcome back, Kayvon Thibodeau. He had a sack. Burns had a sack. But the 2 stories of this game, and I know one is a controversial topic. Well, both are controversial. One is borderline inappropriate, but it's inappropriate.
I'm so excited to talk about it.
Now, correct me if I'm mispronouncing her name. Ava Louise was spotted at the game, OnlyFans Model. She flashed her chest after an alleged request from an anonymous player on the team. Are you buying this or are you selling this?
I'm buying it. I'm buying it so hard. I think that is like 100% something someone on this team would do right now. Like, they have absolutely nothing to lose. And of course, you know, these guys are running around doing whatever the hell they want. They got, you know, pockets full of cash. And why not reach out to an OnlyFans model and have her flash the field? It like kind of worked. I mean, look at it's like the run defense and Ava Louise were out here doing the God's work for the New York Giants this week. But yeah, I definitely think that this is 100% something someone did.
Yeah, rumor was Tommy DeVito. Not sure I
No,
believe that.
I don't think it was Tommy DeVito.
No, no. I could see it being neighbors, but I don't think it was him.
I think it was one of the maybe even a practice squad guy or someone like lower on the totem pole for sure. But any of these higher, you know, ranked guys, quote unquote, I think that they would hopefully know a little bit better.
No, absolutely. And we have a comment here from Malik Savage. Appreciate you. Uh, from an Eagles fan, I hope the Giants become good. I loved the Giants versus Eagles when both teams are good.
I agree.
True.
Such a good matchup when both teams are doing excellent. It's like I like now would be the great time for the Giants to be good to go up against the Eagles team that's performing right now. Because I feel like this 9-game win streak is because they're dominating a Giants team where those 2 games that normally get split were not, you know? So I agree. I think that would be much more exciting football for sure.
We have a comment from Noah Dog Dibler. Shout out to them dogs, Noah, winning the SEC on your graduation day this past Saturday. So congratulations to you, my man.
Wow, congrats, Noah.
A graduate of North Georgia. It's fine, guys. You'll be able to win in a few weeks when Kirk Cousins decides to start giving away turnovers like Oprah giving away cars.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins, man, he walked into Minnesota and that was rough for him. I felt bad, honestly. I am never a fan of fans that will boo a player just because they left their team. That for me is so disrespectful.
But apparently they didn't. They embraced him in Minnesota on Sunday, at least from what I heard, majority of the fan base.
When he
No?
walked out onto the field, there's
Really?
video. There's video of them. At least when he walked in from the players were great. It was the fans that he walked out
Oh,
for the first drive for the Falcons, and
really?
US Bank Stadium was booing it like nobody's business. I
Eh.
will find the video and send it to you.
Yeah, I'd have to watch it. Once the game starts, you're gonna boo him, I guess, from a competitive standpoint. But O'Connell and Jefferson and even Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold went up to him and was like, "The fans love you here, man. They really do." And O'Connell was telling him, "We really miss you, man. I really love the time I got to work with you. It would be nice if
Yeah.
the Giants had that." But yeah, you're probably right. Like I said, I didn't watch the game, but I did watch that YouTube clip today posted by the Atlanta Falcons. Sam Darnold is boat racing. You're right, Noah. We're gonna have you on the show next week when we face the Falcons.
Oh yeah.
As long as you're up for it, old boy. Probably have a little CFP to sprinkle in there as well. Yeah, Sam, definitely send that to me after. I want to watch.
I did text you a Twitter link to watch when you have a moment. But yeah, it was it just like it's kind of like when Andrew Luck retired too and they were booing him. Like I hate seeing things like that and seeing motorcycle. Was that a motorcycle? I thought I heard it.
I don't think so.
I
No,
think maybe it's just a car then. I thought I heard it. I'm always listening for it at all
it
times.
might be a plane. It might be a plane.
Makes sense.
Um,
But yeah, I'm
go
just
ahead.
never a fan of. But I get the competitiveness, but at the same time, I think Kirk Cousins is such a nice person, like genuinely.
Yeah.
So it's like, why boo him?
And the show quarterback really grew a lot of people's respect.
Oh my God. Like, I think that's why I feel so passionate about this, is because when I watched him on quarterback, I was like, this guy is just a normal person and he just happens to be a gajillionaire and plays football.
As I told Noah, he is a meat and potatoes type of quarterback. There are not many of those left in the NFL. Sure. Guys who don't run. He is a old school pocket passer who will only move on a play action bootleg. Yeah. Kirk Cousins didn't deserve to be booed, but I might be tempted to boo him if he keeps playing like Jamarcus Russell.
What a name pull.
Yeah. Malik Savage says Panthers might beat the Cowboys this week. I'm going to be happy.
They're favored.
I'm picking the Panthers to win this game.
Panthers are favored, I think, by 2.5 in this game. And I think it's the first time in 2 years. My coworker was telling me because she's a Cowboys fan, and she was telling me that this is the first time the Panthers are favored in like 2 years.
Wow.
This is turning into an NFL show.
Alarming. Well, at this point, when you're 2-11, I'm okay with it. But back to the Giants, I agree with you, Sam. I'm buying this. Somebody definitely did it. I don't know who it was. I'm not going to call out any names, but it definitely wasn't Daniel Jones. What might have been Daniel Jones, just kidding. A banner flew over MetLife stating, "Mr. Mara, enough. Please fix this dumpster fire." Sam, what are your thoughts on this? And do you think Mr. Mara will fix this dumpster fire?
I mean, at some point you gotta, right? But you know, it's funny. My brother texted me Sunday afternoon and asked me if it were I who was flying the plane over MetLife Stadium, and I said no. And I also thought it was very interesting that Malik Neighbors made it a point to say that he did not pay for that plane. No reason to mention that, sir, but okay. But yeah, Mr. Mara, sir, it's time to put your foot down, first of all, because obviously you knew what was right for the team at the time, and Shane was just like, nope, 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 nope. We're gonna do this, that, and the other thing, and send Saquon Barkley to Philadelphia. And you know, God bless John Mara's sleep schedule, because who knows what that's been like lately. Something's got to change, and it's not just the fact that Daniel Jones is no longer on the team. So John Mara needs to set his foot down and make something happen, because at this point, we're just going to repeat this all over again if there's no change this offseason.
Sam, I have a homework assignment for you as well after the show, actually. Okay. So I don't, unless you saw this already. So the Minnesota Vikings YouTube channel, the post-game locker room speech by Kevin O'Connell, you will see Daniel Jones in the background of that video like 3 or 4 different times. And as the video ends, he is literally the last person you see in the video as it's ending. It is the most hilarious thing I've ever seen. I showed it to both my coworkers who were Giants fans, and we must have laughed for about 2 or 3 minutes straight.
What was he doing?
He was just in there. You know, he's on the practice squad, so I'm telling you, if Darnold gets hurt, he's their quarterback. If God forbid, they're not turning to Nick Mullins.
There's no way. No.
They're turning to Daniel Jones. If Darnold, God forbid, I hope he doesn't get hurt. But
same, yeah, I'm rooting for the kid. I just have to say, too, since we're on the topic of offseason changes and Sam Darnold, I think that Sam Darnold is a very talented quarterback. I do not think that he should return anywhere near MetLife Stadium, because there's talks about going to the Giants or even going back to the Jets. For the sake of that boy's life, do not put him anywhere near MetLife Stadium. I think he needs to go somewhere, 1, that's going to pay him, and 2, that's going to not make him see ghosts.
He wouldn't do well with the Giants. So I'm fully on board with you for that. But I don't think Minnesota's going to pay him, because they have J.J. McCarthy, and now their contingency plan is Daniel Jones. People are like, well, why do they get Jones? You have McCarthy, you have Darnold. Darnold's not under contract next season. So when the Giants release Daniel Jones, Minnesota's like, okay, now we have our bridge for next season. We don't have to worry about this. Until McCarthy is ready and 100%, Daniel Jones might be the starter in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Just saying.
And it's like, there's no reason, like, yes, Sam Darnold's having such an incredible season that he is making the case to get paid right now, especially because they're going to make a bit of a playoff run here. Do I think they're going to go to the Super Bowl? Probably not. But that playoff run, we know firsthand, pays Daniel Jones that win over the Vikings, ironically enough. So Sam Darnold's going to get paid next year, and it's not going to be in Minnesota.
It's not. I have a couple predictions on who it might be, but we'll save that for another day. Because I do want to get to Kevin's comment here. Hey, guys, let's go Giants. This is 100% correct, by the way, on Eli Manning. Yeah. Noah, I wish you were around in my life back in 2018. Sam, you as well, but Kyle Russo and I used to go at it over Eli Manning.
I remember, yeah.
We used to slit each other's throats on this subject. It was bad. Like, it was almost to the point where It never got personal, though. I'll say that. Kyle and I went at it, but it never got personal. He was all in on Odell. I was all in on Eli. And the way, yes, his skills were declining in a sense, but he was still a starting caliber quarterback in the NFL. They did him dirty his last 2 to 3 years. I got into a car accident the day that they benched Eli for Geno Smith, so I missed the game that Geno started back in 2017. I was actually in – I didn't need to go to the hospital, but I was in a hospital bed just sitting there straight up, like just on my phone, like watching the scores.
Yeah.
And – yeah.
Well, I saw a tweet from Bobby Skinner from Talking Giants that he tweeted Giants quarterbacks who have started since Eli Manning was benched in 2019. Daniel Jones, Eli Manning, Colt McCoy, Mike Glennon, Jake Fromm, Davis Webb, Tyrod Taylor, Tommy DeVito, and Drew Lock. 9. And Geno Smith. So 10 technically if you're counting Geno.
It'll be 11 next season, possibly more. Noah, your comment's 100% on point. Just know that I promise you, Sam and I are not two of those fans.
No, we love Eli.
So I heard from Albert Breer, and I texted this to you today, and it's been reported too by 2 very reliable beat reporters, Patty Traina, who a lot of people love, and then Arch Stapleton, who he's good. He's been around for a while. A lot of people accuse him of throwing softball questions instead of hardball questions, whatever.
Someone's got to do it.
They both think Daboll and Shane should be safe.
Really?
Now, I'm not asking you what you want. I'm starting to try to think what John Mara is thinking. I still think there's no way John Mara could see this happening in the 100th season of the franchise and in what's supposed to be year 3 of the rebuild and say, yeah, we're going to run this back with both of them.
I genuinely,
what is he thinking?
And this is not me saying this out of this is what I want. If John Mara does not get rid of Joe Shane, I think he's certifiably insane. Like, it doesn't make any sense for you as the fan base now who you have let in behind the scenes with that Hard Knocks, for us to see how he reacted to this whole situation that happened in the offseason. If you're not getting that was the problem, right? Joe Shane was the problem in this situation to let Saquon Barkley go to the Philadelphia Eagles. If you're not eliminating that problem, again, I'm just saying what I said 7 minutes ago, there's not going to be any change. It's like, yes, and you're going to keep Daboll around because they can't just keep going through these coaches and coaches and coaches and coaches. Like, it goes up higher than that. So I genuinely think that Joe Shane should go, and I'm sad to say that because we were so excited to have him in the front office, but obviously he's not ready to be a GM, and it's just been atrocious since he started, unfortunately. Well, not completely, I should say. The year that Daboll won head coach of the year and all that good stuff, but it doesn't make any sense to keep these guys and then expect change next year.
I think both have to be out but I will say now that everybody's getting hurt, it's going to be used as an excuse. Oh, we didn't have the resources or the personnel. But Joe Shane has had a lack of depth roster for the last 3 seasons. The first season was excusable. Last year was sort of excusable because you had just gone to the playoffs and won a playoff game. This year is not excusable by any means. And I'm not mad with moving on from Saquon Barkley. I'm mad about the way it was handled. Him just saying we're out. Yes, the Giants offered him stuff in the past and it was exhausted. And again, we're only shown so much, but based off what we were shown, Joe Shane pretty much was told he's going to the Eagles, found out what it was, and he's just saying, I'm out. Like, just voluntarily letting him go to the Eagles because he knew he was going to the Eagles before the news broke that he was signing the contract. And if you're just going to let that happen, that's my problem with it. It's not letting Saquon go in free agency. It's who he went to. And we all knew he was going to do spectacular things in the city of brotherly love.